What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Liverpool-Watford post-match analysis video. I'm sorry that this video is a day late, but two of my best friends came over yesterday and recorded a Road to Glory career mode together. That series is coming very soon on my channel, potentially next week. So if you are excited about that, leave a like. Who was your man of the match against Watford? And Liverpool have recorded 10 wins in a row in the Premier League, and it was very crucial because Liverpool only for briefly went top of the Premier League to put further pressure on Man City. Sadly, Man City also recorded a 2-0 routine win against Burnley, but Liverpool, I think, were not at their most scintillating best, but we got the job done. Joe Gomez was the man of the match for me. His whipped in crosses were like a thing of beauty. It was similar to what Trent Alexander-Arnold delivers. Of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold is much better at fullback, but he was only fit to get on the bench and he didn't come on as a substitute because he didn't really need to. And Joe Gomez got the assist before the Diogo Jota header. And what is it with Diogo Jota and headers? This guy is not the tallest and not a Peter Crouch style of player, but he has the genes for heading. He always arrives in the perfect place at the perfect time, and his header to beat the goalkeeper after Joe Gomez's Beckham-esque delivery was a thing of beauty. I watched the extended highlights of the game, and so I didn't watch the full game because, as I said, my friends were over all day yesterday. But also Curtis Jones sometimes was a little bit too ambitious with his shots. Maybe he wanted to score another screamer like against Everton. And also Fabinho got rested, and of course Luis Diaz got rested as well. They didn't come on, so that indicates to me that Fabinho and Luis Diaz will start probably against Benfica in the next game. And also I was happy to see Bobby Firmino start, and Mo Salah played until the 69th minute, and that's why he didn't take the penalty, because he wasn't even on the pitch. And what was the Watford defender doing? WWE wrestling Diogo Jota to the ground. That just blew my mind, how the defender thought that was a good idea to manhandle Diogo Jota like this and just drag him onto the ground, because the ball wasn't even going there. Diogo Jota wouldn't have affected the play even if he wasn't wrestled to the ground, but I think the defender was very foolish. Of course, the referee didn't give it, but thankfully VAR was there to give the penalty and to call the referee over to the monitor. And what a penalty by Fabinho! If you want to see one of the most perfect penalties in your life, watch Fabinho's penalty against Watford. His record is honestly second to none, and it's so good to know that Liverpool have, after Mo Salah, another very reliable penalty taker. And maybe it's a blessing in disguise that Salah wasn't on the pitch, so he couldn't take a penalty, because Salah missed his penalty against Senegal, and that must be on his mind still, how Egypt missed out on the World Cup. Of course, the Senegal laser show affected Salah, so it wasn't entirely his fault, but still, I'm actually happy that Fabinho scored that, because that just will give him more confidence. So Fabinho coming on as a substitute, scoring yet another goal. And I have to look up this year's goal scorers, because Fabinho turned into a very unlikely but very reliable goal scorer this season. And Fabinho must be in the top 5 or top 6 goal scorers. Yeah, no, he's in the top 6. He has 7 goals, Fabinho, this season. If at the beginning of the season somebody would tell me that Fabinho would score more goals than Divock Origi, Jordan Henderson, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Thiago, Luis Diaz, oh my goodness, there are so many players that Fabinho outscored this season. Only Minamino, Firmino, Mane, Jota and Salah has more goals for Liverpool this season than Fabinho. And also that was the 20th goal of Diogo Jota this season, so we can officially say that Jota is another 20 goal a season striker at Liverpool. What a signing he has been, absolutely brilliant. Last season, his season was hindered by injuries, but still last season his goals to games ratio was pretty amazing. 13 goals in 30 games, that's like 1 goal every 2 games almost. But this season he literally has 1 goal every 2 games, because 20 goals in 40 games for Diogo Jota. It's absolutely brilliant. And also, you know, he's still only, how old is he? He was born in 96, so he is like 24 years old, and that's absolutely brilliant. No, sorry, he's 26 years old. I got my math confused. So 26-year-old. So Diogo Jota can still play for Liverpool for another 5 or 6 years, hopefully, maybe even more. But also, shout out to Alisson, who made some huge saves, because at 0-0 Watford were clean through on goal, and Alisson made a huge save from a one-on-one, and also in the second half from Watford corners. They were threatening, and from counter-attacks and set pieces, and Fabinho saved everything, and it was very, very important. And this is a huge season-defining month for Liverpool, because Liverpool have 8 crucial games. The first one is ticked off, but now we will play Benfica, Man City, Man United and Everton and Tottenham. What a month in April. Absolutely incredible schedule. I know it off the top of my head. I already memorized it, because this is going to be one of the most exciting periods in Liverpool's season. Absolutely buzzing, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. And actually, Joe Gomez was told by Diogo Jota that he will get an assist before even the game by Diogo Jota, so that is absolutely brilliant. Diogo Jota said that the cross was really, really good. I spoke with Joey Gomez before the game. Jota said, "You are going to get an assist today," I told him. I remember against Nottingham, he had a few crosses that I couldn't get on the end of, but I was confident for today, and fortunately for us, it happened. And Jota said, "It's the first time in my career that I scored 20 goals in a season, so just keep going, because we still have plenty to play for." I remember thinking before the game that what I like most about the 12:30 kickoff is that at 3 o'clock we have 3 points and the rest of the day to enjoy. It's not easy. People coming from all over the world this week, early kickoff. We knew they were fighting Watford for survival. They still are, and we knew they were going to give us a tough game, so we did our job. That was the most important thing today. And also, what do you think about Chelsea losing to Brentford 4-1 at home? And it was well deserved, and I'm so happy for Christian Eriksen, who now has, I think in his last 4 games, 3 goals and 1 assist. What a player. And I'm so happy that after his health scare at the Euros in Denmark, he went back to the same stadium in Copenhagen and scored a brilliant goal, and he scored against Chelsea as well. And Brentford they must be on cloud 9. Tell me there is a Brentford fan who thought they would go to Stamford Bridge and absolutely batter Chelsea, because a 4-1 scoreline is a battering. And that Chelsea team, I don't know what happened, because they normally are very solid defensively. They only conceded 19 goals before this game, and then they concede 4 goals in 1 game to a relegation candidate, Brentford. Absolutely brilliant. One of the best days of Brentford, surely in their history, to go to Chelsea and win 4-1. That is absolutely a brilliant result, and it also cements basically Liverpool's 2nd place at least. But we want to go for the title. Next weekend, Manchester City-Liverpool. That could be a title-defining game. If Liverpool can somehow win at the Etihad, which will be mightily difficult, but not impossible. If there is a team who can win there, it's Liverpool. And if Liverpool can win there, then the title will be in our hands. Because if we win the rest of the games, we win the title. But Man City will also think, if they beat Liverpool, they will have one hand on the title as well. So Liverpool, I'm really, really looking forward to that game. Man City will play Atletico Madrid in midweek as well, so that is going to be a tough game for them. And Jurgen Klopp was celebrating after the win against Watford, and he was asked about his post-match celebrations in the post-match interviews, and not being able to give an inch in the title race. And Jurgen Klopp said, "No, you can't give an inch. But it's nothing to do with being on top of the table. I didn't think about that in the moment. I was just happy to win the game and having now 72 points. To keep it a title race, we have to win our football games. Otherwise, it will be really tricky. And the next Premier League game, obviously, is a big one against Man City. We do not hide from that. It's all good. But now we have a Champions League game to play, which is as important, and 3 days' time to prepare for that. And then we go from there. And we enjoy the situation. We are not favorite in one of the competitions we are in, but who cares? we will give it a try and we will give it everything. And he also said something very interesting. If people see our situation like pressure, not sure I can change that. If they see it as an opportunity, I think it's the right way to think about it, to do it. We created a basis which we could use, but nobody knows because the opponents have their own targets and they really go for it. I know people said Watford is pretty much an easy game, but we saw today it was not easy. Then people waved us already through to the semi-finals of the Champions League because Benfica are Benfica. I cannot see situations like this. Benfica are extremely strong, especially when you let them be. That's what we have to think about now. And also, Jurgen Klopp completed his 250th Premier League matches, and he has the most wins in the first 250 Premier League games as a manager, above anybody else, above Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho and all the other people. Or maybe Pep Guardiola doesn't have 250 games. Hold on, I think he doesn't have, but 160 wins in 250 Premier League matches. Absolutely brilliant by Jurgen Klopp. And Jurgen Klopp also talked about the title race. We didn't have a lot of opportunities or alternatives to come from 14 points behind Man City. Because we are 14 points behind City, that means you are in trouble with qualifying for the Champions League if the others are not 15 points away as well. That was the reason. If you cannot become champions, we have to qualify for the Champions League, and that's why there was no reason to think about anything different. And the rest then came. We won 10 games in a row, but we couldn't influence Man City's results or Man City's games. The rest just happened while we were trying to play the best football possible. Today we didn't obviously play the best football possible, but it was good enough to win the game deservedly. And I was really happy with the whole stuff. We came through. I didn't expect for 1 second we will be flying today, but we had good moments and less good moments. Once where we needed Ali to be big in the goal, to make big saves, but we scored 2 nice goals and all good. And one injury concern for Liverpool, Curtis Jones twisted his ankle and he wanted to strap it. We wanted to change anyway. He got the strapping, but after he came off. He obviously could walk normally, but I didn't see him yet, so we will see how long he's out for. Joe Matip had a proper knock. It looked like a golf ball on his head, but it was nothing serious. It was just a bruise. He had swollen up a little bit. He said he was completely fine, and that's why we had the strapping there. So those are the only injury concerns for Liverpool, so nothing really major. And I'm really happy that Trent Alexander-Arnold is back for the Benfica game. Hopefully he will start that so we can get properly up and running before we play Man City. I'm really hoping that you guys enjoyed this video. Many more videos to come later today, so stay tuned. Thanks for that. Have a nice day. See you later.